DNVR Broncos live on a Monday here in the Mile High City. It's actually a beautiful, beautiful day. And we got a big show planned.
The Studio A thing.
Nope.
No, yes, you have to do it.
It's dead forever.
Oh my goodness.
Oh,
no,
man.
it is not. No, it is not.
Henry feels so much guilt for this now.
no.
He knows what he did. Is that why you had the smirk the entire start of the show?
He looked
I was
really
like, what does he
excited.
have up his back pocket? And in reality, it was what he didn't have up his back
I
pocket.
actually had like 4 ideas.
Wow.
I don't use them.
Nope.
Alex.
You killed it. That was the
Forsyth,
main one.
That was a good one. Agonizing for last night. Was that on your list?
No.
No, not
Look
on the
at
list.
Henry. He feels so bad that
Well,
he's trying to bring it back. Like he killed it.
If he's
and now
not-
he's trying to pump CPR. He's trying to pump life into
I
it.
am going to come up with like a new thing, but it's, it's in the workshop phase.
Well, you better make sure it's good or Henry's going to beat it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
Well, then I'll just kill it again. Start a new one.
Well, there we go. We need more A words.
So, Alex Forsyth Day
Yeah.
here on the DNVR Broncos podcast.
7th round center. That's exciting. It's a
hey,
big day.
That's about the top of the list when it comes to draft excitement.
Yeah, it
Like you
seriously
got
is.
first round skill players, meh.
Yeah.
Fifth round punters, meh. Seventh round centers.
There it is,
That's the
baby.
meat of the draft.
There it is, baby. And you know what's funny is we could actually have a little seriousness about this because of who we're talking to later in the show. Draft expert Emory Hunt's going to join us, and he had Alex Forsyth as his number 1 center in the draft. So we joke, but in reality, this could be kind of an exciting pick to talk about, specifically, certainly value-wise.
Yeah, definitely. It is actually kind of crazy going back and looking because there's some, like Lance Zierlein just said, yeah, he's a UDFA. Congrats to whoever gets him. But like the Draft Network says, 3rd round pick. And like you can find that sort of stuff out there, the people who really believe in him. So I don't know. I mean, I've seen him a little bit over the last few years. I've seen like the Oregon running game. More often than not, Oregon's just way better than everybody they play in the Pac-12. And so, but he's a part of that. He's part of like the big, strong, pushing guys around thing. So I'm curious to hear what makes him stand out from Emory. Have we said it's Emory yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Emory Hunt. And
I want to make sure I wasn't a tease.
What's crazy about this, you mentioned how Lance Zierlein has him as a priority free agent, 3rd round pick from some others. Emory has him as his number 1. You don't see that with players. Sometimes they're 2 rounds off, but typically people are very aligned with how they view players.
Well, it's because draft Twitter, the draft community as a whole is like a massive groupthink community. So, the truth of it really is that there's like 10 people who are doing this for real and then 10,000 who are just echoing what those 10 people say in one way or another. And that's what I love about Emory is he does not play by the rule book of the rest of draft Twitter. He is an expert on the small school players, which is always a cool thing and really valuable. Unfortunately, the Broncos didn't take any small school guys, or else it would be cool to talk to him about that. But he also just goes in, grades it himself. Like all of his scouting reports are really, really in depth and comprehensive. And so like you can disagree with him, but you certainly can't say he didn't put the work in or he's just throwing shit at the wall.
Which, like you said, kind of most of draft, certainly draft Twitter is that, and even a lot of experts are like that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So excited to talk to him. We'll have him in about 20 minutes.
Yep.
So let's talk about our thoughts on Alex Forsyth first. And for me, it was a relieving pick. Just because it gives me a leg to stand on of, okay, there's another option out there.
Right.
Now, they did bring in the guy from Seattle.
It's Kyle Fuller.
Kyle Fuller. I was like, I know it's a former Broncos corner.
We're not talking about the cornerback. We're talking about the center, Kyle Fuller.
But I never was thinking in my head, like, oh, he could really push Lloyd.
Right.
No.
Alex Forsyth is a huge wild card in this race, and I think we're going to know pretty quickly because I think if it's a tie or close to a tie, it will go to the rookie.
Go to Sean's guy.
Yes, exactly. But we're going to know, I think, fairly soon into training camp whether or not this is an actual competition, can he hang, or is this kind of a stash move by the Broncos? They're like, all right, Lloyd, one more year, then his contract's up. We'll have Alex Forsyth ready.
And we talked about this a lot, but now's a really important time because typically when you say something like that, Ryan, like if it's close, is a 7th round rookie going to get the nod, or is it going to be a veteran who's been your starting center for the past 2 years? Typically, you say, well, the way coaches operate, it's going to be the veteran because it's a little risky going to a 7th round center. But we know Sean Payton does not operate in the safe ways. He does not operate in the standard NFL coaches ways. He will give it to the best player, and we just can't ignore that Alex Forsyth is Sean Payton's pick. So Sean was actually talking about Alex and said, yeah, we actually could have picked him in the 6th round and felt really good about it. So he's not saying necessarily 3rd round pick, but he is saying that they liked him more than just the draft place they got him.
Yeah, he should have talked to Emory before he went on.
It's true.
And just been like, yes. He could have at the very least said some people had him as their number 1 center in the draft.
Yeah, exactly.
And he would have been right.
I think the other, it's not just pushing for the starting spot. The depth just looks so much better when you have Alex Forsyth there too, because he did play both guard positions and he does give you some versatility in the middle of the line. And right now, Broncos don't really have any backup linemen.
Yeah.
You know, you look at Kyle Fuller, you look at Quinn Bailey. I can't even remember the tackle's name.
Yeah, I mean those are the 2 most notable.
Yeah, but I mean that's basically it. There is nothing behind those starting 5, and now you at least have somebody who can play those middle 3 spots, and it's probably Quinn Bailey, despite them mostly playing him at guard last year, who they will look at as their backup tackle until they bring in somebody else. So in terms of depth, the offensive line might needed it more than anybody else. Christian DeLauro is the tackle. But again, can't blame me for forgetting that.
No, certainly not. And so who this hurts immediately is Luke Wattenberg.
Yeah.
The Broncos' 5th round pick last year, I believe.
It's impressive how much his name comes up on this show.
It's
It
really
is.
true. It's really true. But you probably aren't going to go 3 deep just at center. And one of the things that what?
Jose said put some respect on Luke Wattenberg's name.
The Broncos aren't putting respect on his name by having this draft pick. Even though it's a 7th rounder, I think he immediately goes behind Alex Forsyth on this. We saw that a couple of times that Luke got to play last year. It was not good. Could he develop from a rookie to a 2nd year? Of course he can. He needs to put on a lot of strength. And with Alex, though, I think he does take over that backup spot kind of immediately. And another thing with Alex, so he was the starting center his past, was it 3 seasons? His last 3 seasons at Oregon, including the COVID season, which was shortened. But he was played tackle and both guard spots his first 2 years at Oregon. So you don't necessarily you definitely don't think he's going to push for any of those guard spots, but he does have that versatility that he brings.
Which they need because of the lack of depth.
Right.
Yep. So, you look around and you say, okay, well, if Alex Forsyth is good, then he can back up 3 positions for you in a pinch at the very least. It's weird to say about a 7th round center, but it's an exciting pick just with some of the upside that is out there. Some of the tape that he put out in college is really, really strong tape. So you can live in a world where he could be an answer to a problem for the Broncos, which rarely happens in the 7th round.
Yeah, it's true. And really, shout out to Jose for saying in 1996, the Broncos drafted Tom Nalen in the 7th round. What if Alex Forsyth's next Tom Nalen?
That's actually
That would be good. That would be very good.
Yeah, it would be.
Matt Paradis, also a 7th round pick.
Damn. Broncos have had some luck in the 7th round with centers.
Yeah.
So sexy picks, we can sell it.
I'm pretty sure
Damn.
offensive and defensive linemen have the highest hit rates in the late rounds. Like in terms of
Interesting.
winding up as starters.
That
I
is
wonder
interesting.
what that's the case.
I mentioned it last week with the defensive linemen. Like the 2nd and 3rd round is actually less likely to hit than the later rounds just because everybody's like, wow, look how fast this guy is. Look how strong it is. And so you're drafting all the traits right there. I wonder if it's the same thing with offensive linemen too. Because I remember, like, you look at Jalen Duncan, it's like, wow, if you just teach him how to play football, he could be awesome. And then most of those guys, you never teach how to play football, and so you'd rather just get an Alex Forsyth, and he'll at least, I don't know. I'd be surprised if he doesn't at least find some season where he's starting half the year. And maybe that's because of injuries, but you just expect at some point there's going to be a spot for him in the NFL, just based on what he did in college.
Yeah, it's really true. And so let's talk about
Yeah.
exactly what his spot could be after I tell you about our friends over at Breckenridge Brewery. Ryan, you mentioned it is a beautiful day this week. Looking at the forecast, you could really make a case that you can have every single one of Breckenridge beers just depending on the day. I think we got some rain and 50s later. That would be good for an Avalanche ale, though. Vanilla Porter Junior when you're watching the Nuggets game specifically, if it comes on one of those cooler days. But then today, I think we're like almost pushing 80. Strawberry Sky.
Tomorrow we are hitting 80.
There we go. Love it. The Shandies, Henry.
Love the Shandies.
You can drink those this week. And if you're able to make it down to the DNVR bar, we got them all. But if you're not able to, go to breckbrew.com. At the beer locator will help you find beer, whether you're in Denver, Colorado, or any of the 48 states, continental 48 states. So check them out, breckbrew.com.
Wow, I'm looking at this forecast. Not great. Not great.
But there's some highs
Yeah,
and lows,
yeah.
literally,
I'm just thinking like maybe I need to play golf tomorrow.
before the...
Find a way.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Have a bunch of meetings and shit.
I'm going to
Cancel them.
Jackson, Wyoming on Thursday. I like Googled Jackson weather yesterday, and it was like 80s,
Wow.
pushing 90.
Wow.
And then
I
you realized it
realized-
was Jackson, Mississippi.
And then I realized it was
Oh,
Jackson,
no.
Mississippi. So it'll be 60 and raining up in Wyoming this week.
Man. Good thing you like rechecked, or otherwise
that-
you just
oh.
bring like flip flops and short shorts
Yeah.
and looking like Greg Dulcich out there in the cold.
So in like 2000, I want to say 2015, a big group of us were planning to go out to the Pac-12 tournament in Las Vegas. It was like 10, 12 of us all got our tickets, blah, blah, blah. One of the guys was like, I'm going to save some money and take the train.
No.
It's like, I found a train from Union Station. I'm going to take the train to Vegas.
Oh no.
Okay, man. About 5 hours after we're all like having a good time in Vegas, just get a text from him. Took the train to Las Vegas, New Mexico.
No way.
I was trying to remember how could that train even work.
Wow.
There you go. Oof.
So slightly worse than what you did, Hank.
That was
Wow.
much worse. I do not that I've never traveled on a train. Like I've like taken joyrides on a train, that sort of stuff.
Joyrides on a train.
Yeah, but
You done that one up in like Idaho Springs or wherever that one is?
Yeah.
No. I mean, it's got to be kind of similar because like the train goes to like Glacier Park up in Montana.
Okay, yeah.
So you just like take it out there. And it's like, oh, you go
nice.
up across like kind of toward the border. I don't know.
The way you're talking about it makes it sound like you are driving the train.
Right. You
No.
stole the train.
It's like a joyride in the train. You just take it out there.
I wouldn't even know where to start. Wow, at all. Like I don't even. Is there like a go button?
Got to be a throttle.
Do you literally?
there a key?
Yeah. There must be. I bet they lock the door. So there's step one.
Okay.
So you open the door. You get
You gotta
in.
shovel the coal.
That
in.
was my thought. You just start. Do you shovel the coal first?
You
Or
gotta put on your overalls.
is that like automatic now? Yeah. You came in overalls.
You have to have that.
You
You
what?
No.
gotta have that wooden whistle thing.
Yep. You gotta have the wooden whistle. But then there's no way there's like a thing you stick the key into and turn.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Is there like a big lever that says like train on?
I don't know.
Yeah. This
And then like a
Maybe
go
once
lever?
it gets hot enough, just kind of
it
starts
just
going.
goes on its own.
I have no idea. I have no
Any-
Do you think
idea.
we have any
conductors out
listening? Yeah.
This would be a great podcast if you were driving a train.
That's true.
You would drive a train, right?
I would
Conduct
say
a
you
train.
operate it. Or
Operate?
conduct it.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because you're actually not like steering.
Nope.
You're probably doing
Well,
That's
acceleration.
a great
and braking.
podcast job.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
is. How do you make a train go? Point is though, the train like because Lexi's from Minnesota, the train from Montana, Minnesota, surprisingly cheap, easy too, especially when flights to Montana are so expensive.
How
Depending
long
on the
is it?
train too, it can be like
Like a
really
day.
comfortable.
Exactly.
Mm.
And then like it'd be like scenic.
Man, how old school though. And
I know.
but not in a bad way.
Yeah.
Just so different.
Yeah, I think the trains these days are like different. I don't know. Like the train I took from London to Belgium wasn't exactly like a coal-powered train.
Yeah.
Right.
They really do trains well over there.
If they did trains well here, you could take it to Volo, couldn't you?
You could take it to Volo. We could
Ooh.
just
Big night for me tonight.
Hey,
You gonna
My
finally ready?
return. Yep, I'm ready. I'm ready.
Do you have the
What are you
statement ready
returning
that you're
from?
back?
I guarantee that I bowl well tonight.
Now, what is well? Because I was thinking, 200s for you, but you couldn't even top 100 last time. So as well,
200
topping 100.
200 is like my friends who bowled in college are like rolling, in the 200s.
He's really bringing his
Okay.
expectation level way
Yeah,
down.
he is.
Yeah.
You see, CJ Anderson got like, what was it? It was the first 10 strikes of a perfect game, but then had a spare and with like his spare balls in the ninth, 10 last week.
So what
Has
does
he
that
never
get
done
you?
it?
I think he's done it before.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Wow.
289.
289.
I have a buddy who's rolled a 300.
Wow.
I think I've only rolled in the 200s like 5 or 6 times ever.
See, that seems like you're flexing now.
Oh, no, I'm saying like, it's like, it's pretty close to like golf. Like I've only hit par or at least within 2 of par like 10 times.
Another flex. You
What
just
I'm
wanna
saying
keep
is
telling us what you're
those
good
are
at?
your best, like, I'm not expecting to have one of my best games ever tonight.
Right. Just better than
Yeah.
100.
Yes.
What we're going
No, I'm going to say better than 125.
125. Okay.
I wonder how many strikes you need for 200.
A lot.
Yeah.
You can find out if you go to
can.
Volo tonight.
You can.
Yeah.
You can. We've got our bowling team playing in the Cherry Creek Bowling League. They've got different leagues all around town. Rhino and Uptown and Northfield. I don't even know where that is. Aurora, Arvada, Inglewood. And they also have sports that aren't bowling. They've got flag football and, basically everything. Cornhole. What's the badminton?
Yep.
I think they have badminton.
They've got it all.
Yeah,
The list
exactly.
is insane.
Any single sport where you could really have like a league. Volo Sports has a league. The money goes to the Volo Kids Foundation. It's a 501c3. It gives free sports camps to kids in all of the Volo cities. So sign up for $20 a month or $200 a year, and you can get into unlimited pickups, drop-ins, and tournaments. There's also a beta version for $10 for 3 months, or $10 a month for 3 months. So get your Volo Pass, start playing leagues today. The May League registration ends on May 11th. Oof, you always start reading those and you're like, oh, please don't be leading up to a date that's 3 days ago. So don't wait. Make sure to use the code DNVR10 for $10 off at www.volosports.com/Denver.
I have to say this. People are saying I was like talking shit to Hank or whatever. At least I show up.
Oh.
Wow.
At least I show up.
Wow.
The best ability is availability.
That is true.
Oh,
That is
damn.
best. So I'm lacking the best ability.
Yeah.
My bowling ability is pretty good though.
Well, I guess
no
we-
one would know
yeah,
because
we
you
can't
haven't
know.
come
yeah, that's
once.
fair. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Last time someone told us how good of a bowler they were before actually bowling, we didn't actually live up to expectations. So Henry, I do question you. I do question
Again,
you.
Tiger Woods misses the cut once in a while.
Okay.
That's true. Some
He also
clarification
doesn't show up a lot.
from.
What?
He also doesn't show up a lot.
It's true. He's lacking the best
That's
ability.
very
I'm
true.
probably
That's
more
very-
Tiger-like in that
He's
way.
like 50 years old. I think we can give the guy a break now.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Rickert Bohr says the conductor oversees the people. The operator oversees the driving. I didn't know there was a train operator, as in like the title.
I mean, now that you say it out loud, it feels right.
Feels
It
right.
does feel right.
And then they're not a driver. They're not like the train driver. They're the operator.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wow.
Who's operating this podcast right now?
I don't know.
No one really.
It's kind of better just
Yeah,
without.
it's off the tracks. There we go.
It was off the track. Somebody
That's when this
steered
pod
it.
is at its best.
Wow, it's very true. Good Monday vibes.
Yeah.
Okay, Alex Forsyth. Let's dish out a grade right now
Okay.
for
Okay.
this pick. What are you guys going with?
First of all, I'm surprised I didn't take more heat once I saw your guys' grades for
Yeah.
JL Skinner. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm far enough away from them that people are going to be really mad. But I didn't feel anything.
We roasted you on here.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Yeah, you hate JL.
I was too busy throwing darts on the golf course.
Do you throw darts on the golf course?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wouldn't you hit darts?
it's just like a term.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got to be in the know.
like you don't actually hit bombs on the baseball field. It's just like a figure of speech.
What's that thing
You hit
people
bomb.
said?
Phil Mickelson hits bombs on the
Does.
golf course. That's what he says, at least.
There was that other phrase for dinger.
Oh yeah.
Dingers. I hate when people say that. I hate it so much.
What about dongs? Do you like when people say that?
I don't like talking about dongs. No, Brian.
You talked about it earlier today.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. You guys did.
Anyways, I really like JL Skinner. It's
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
Not a lot of positional value.
That's fair.
Coming off an injury. Still gave him a decent grade.
Oh, I would have been roasted for that grade so badly.
Yep, you would have.
I'm not going to be roasted today, though, because I trust our guy, Emory Hunt, a lot. He has put in way more time studying the centers in this class. And also, when I went and watched some tape of him and read over some other people's reviews, even Lance Zierlein, who said he's a priority undrafted free agent, his scouting report on him was like, he's a good player. He just has, he needs to get a little stronger. He didn't have to move to the second level and run much at Oregon. So he just said, we're not sure about that part of his game. And then he does have some snapping issues and pre-snap penalties that you certainly want to see get out of his game. But other than that, he's a solid football player. I don't know how being like a good, solid football player makes you a priority undrafted guy, but I really like, especially for a 7th round pick. I'm going A here.
Yeah. I mean, y'all have to go an A. I can't give another A+. I mean, it's great. I mean, that's somebody who we're talking about him as a potential starter, which is insane. And that's probably taking it too far. But I mean, there's obviously flaws that knock him down. He isn't like he hasn't knocked guys back. There's some of that sort of stuff. He's had some injury issues in the past couple years. But like, they let him call out the protections. He's always right. That goes a long way, and the pass protection grades were all right there.
Drew
if
Lock
he can just
killed for
figure
that.
things out in the run game, plus he's trying to run block, but like half the time he's gonna be on a double team with either Ben Powers or Quinn Miners. Like
It's very
it'll be just fine. That's a good pick, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see him quite a bit this year.
I'm going A+.
Wow.
I think this is a knock it out of the park pick.
Would you call it a dinger?
Yeah,
A
just
dong, maybe?
Huge dong from the Broncos front office. I
To the tune of like 6'3", 303 pounds.
Yep. I'm using some foresight here on Forsyth and saying that he will be the starting center for the Broncos at some point.
Okay,
This year.
At some point this year, sure.
Boom.
But you know, I already know that Emory's going to hype me up on this even more. So I'm using my own foresight.
Yeah.
To say in like 10 minutes, I'm going to like this pick even more than I do right now. So I'm going to adjust upwards and say this is an A+ from the Denver Broncos. Tom Nalen, Matt Paradis, Alex Forsyth. They'll be in the same conversation someday.
Dang.
I mean,
man.
with the little goatee, I can kind of see it.
Where does he rank between those three? You're putting your Forsyth out there.
Probably second.
Second.
Wow.
If you get better than Matt Paradis, damn, you're doing great with this pick.
Yes.
we are.
This, I believe, is also the first pick that all three of us have given an A to.
Yeah. I mean, it's the end of the 7th round.
3 spots before Mr. Irrelevant.
Yep. And you got a guy that we're talking about potentially starting.
Yeah. It's so true.
I mean, it's the goatee with Forsyth and Nalen. Like, there's a very shocking similarity there.
Wow.
I think that's what gets me going the most.
Like just actual physical look.
looks.
Wow.
Like
holy cow.
Can we get it up on the screen after we talk to
Alyssa,
Emory?
is there any way to pull up a photo of Tom Nalen without his helmet on?
Wait, no. Henry, you screenshot the
Screenshot
pictures
him?
and
Okay.
send it over.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay,
Well,
we'll do
hell
this
yeah.
after.
Let's jump right in and talk to our guy, Emory Hunt, draft expert. Let's bring him in because Emory
What up?
Hunt,
Go.
the draft expert over at Football Game Plan. He's got the 2023 draft guide, and this is incredible. How many?
Yes.
We were just talking about Mr. Irrelevant was what, pick 257 or something like that?
Yep.
Emory Hunt does over 1,000 individual scouting reports, full color PDF, the largest guide in existence, and it's not even close. And it really helps with undrafted guys and 7th round guys, which we're going to talk about. And if you want to get over and check it out to find out all about the Broncos rookie class, go to footballgameplan.com/2023 draft guide. Really is the draft expert. And thanks so much for hopping on with us, Emory.
Not a problem, man. I appreciate you guys bringing me on.
Man, I was thinking back to like 2020. We had you on during the draft. Now you're too busy during the draft, man. I'm just lucky we got you on now.
Nah, it's fun, man. It's always a pleasure to see the progression and growth within anything that you do. And yeah, once you start, getting rolling, things just kind of snowball. So you kind of stay busy, man. Busy is good though.
Okay, so Emory, just take us 1 through 1,000 on all these guys. No, I'm just kidding. But we've been talking about Alex Forsyth, the Broncos' 7th-round center, and there's really no better person to talk to about him than you. And you actually had him as your number 1 center in the class. Can you just tell us what the Broncos are getting in Alex Forsyth and why you're so high on him?
I thought he was super consistent, and when you talk about offensive line play and defensive line play, or just pro prospects in general, how consistent are you at what you are good at? Everyone can flash and, oh, wow, that was a great run, that was a great throw, but is your great throw consistent? Is your great run consistent? And when you look at him, how he uses his hands is consistent. How he handles his footwork is consistent. How he's able to keep all of those things in lockstep, in unison, is consistent. So for me, it's more about the consistency. And you really can't go wrong with the way they've developed these offensive linemen at Oregon in particular. I'm always locked into how they do things, and I tend to have a lot of, positive experiences in watching those Oregon offensive linemen. Just like you can sell me on a Utah defensive player or a Kansas State defensive player sight unseen, because you know what that program is like, you know how those guys compete. Ohio State wide receiver, sight unseen, I'm taking them, right? So that's how I felt with Forsyth. And again, watching this class, and when you grade guys, I tend to go in alphabetical order. So by the time I got to Forsyth, for him, he just jumped out because of, again, where I started the grading process. And so it's really stood out because, okay, this was what I've been watching. And then, boom, this guy's up here. And that's exactly how it tends to happen when you're scouting so many players.
I guess this is probably a better question for somebody other than you, but why do you think that other people don't have him as the number 1 center?
You got to ask him, because at the end of the day, I do my process the way I do. People also said that about my 2016 quarterback class rankings when I had a 4th round grade on Carson Wentz. I got, put through the ringer. Everybody just called me all kind of, now we fast forward and it's like, oh, wow, maybe I was right. I had Lamar Jackson as my QB1 in 2018. Well, now let's look at that. You know what I'm saying? So it's always about they say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And everyone watches things differently and sees things differently. I also feel like, with regards to the question, because I grade so many, I've seen a lot. My perspective is vast, so I can kind of rank and file guys based off what I've seen. I've gone to all 8 All-Star games this All-Star game cycle. So I've seen more than the average draft analyst. So I just don't work off the combine list or, who made it to the Senior Bowl or whatnot. I've seen so much that you just kind of got to rank guys and grade them how you see fit.
One of the things that I like about the way that you grade these guys is you quantify it. You put a number on it and you go through, their kind of attributes and put a number on all that too. So it's not like you just watched this guy and said, yeah, I think I like him the best. Like, you're comparing all these numbers together. And when I look at your scouting report, you said that word consistency, but it's not just in consistency in what he does well. The lowest thing you have on here is a 75 grade for explosiveness and redirecting. Is that something that stood out to you too? Is like the strengths are consistent and the weaknesses aren't really glaring?
Right. You kind of have to have something that I would say maybe 4 or 5 prospects. Since I started to put these scouting reports on paper and put it out as a draft guide, 2020 was the first one. Prior to that, everything I was, I smartened up in 2020 because everything prior to that was done free on YouTube. So like, hey, here's my grades, and it was just a number grade at the end. But when I started because of COVID, we had nothing to do. It's like, let me just put everything out and show how I got to this number that everyone used to see on at the end result. They didn't see the process. And there was only maybe 4 guys that I was like, you know what, this is nitpicky. There's not really much to really pick at the weaknesses. But yeah, his stuff is consistent in terms of, that's why I don't even call it weakness. It's kind of like an area of improvement. Like some things that, guys can get better. And weaknesses to me are something that's glaring. And when you look at a lot of these players, and Forsyth in particular, it's like, all right, this is where I see sometimes he has an issue, and it's not like this. It wasn't, as you saw in the grade, it's not like it's enough to where it dropped him below a 70, and so that's the thing that a lot of people that, I know I'm getting flamed by Chiefs fans because of what I had about the defensive end, but no one looks at the scouting report and realized how you got there. And this is why it's important to show your work that way.
Emory, you come on here, you tell us how good the Broncos' 7th round pick is. You talk about how Chiefs fans aren't liking what you're saying. You're loved here. Yeah. We the Broncos country loves you. But we are talking about the 7th round pick. What about the Broncos' first pick in the draft with Marvin Mims, a receiver out of Oklahoma, big play guy? But when you really dove into the film, what type of player are the Broncos getting with him?
It's funny because they're getting a guy that's similar to what they have on the roster, and a KJ Hamler, or someone that can get deep like a Montreal Washington that has that speed like that, right? But the problem is for those guys, they tend to stay banged up. Yeah. So Mims has a great chance to really, elevate because he can be the healthiest. And it's not like the Broncos lack talent or depth around the depth chart at the position. So Mims is someone that when you watch Oklahoma, he was constantly getting deep. They just didn't really get the ball to him. It was kind of like watching Zay Flowers, who was always open, but he had the worst quarterback play you could have for a receiver that was always open, because he's not going to get the football. Mims was someone that was, he had his defender beat a lot. So you factor in maybe with Sean Payton getting the best out of Russell Wilson, and we know Russell Wilson throws a deep ball rather well, throws those moon shots. Mims could be someone, health permitting, could be on the other end of those passes because of how well he's able to get deep and able to stack and track and accelerate to the ball and track it rather well.
He's really good at getting deep downfield and getting open down there. Do you worry at all about his ability to get open, like within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage?
You got 15 other receivers that can do that. That's how I view it. Like, if we're going to ask you to be, I'm not going to ask you to be Courtland Sutton. That's Courtland Sutton's job. My job is to get deep down the field. And so we're going to make sure we find and draw up ways for you to get at least intermediate to deep downfield. But, at the end of the day, receivers can work them. So he's quick enough to where he can work himself open. But why make it hard? Why this, it's an easy game. Let's get the guys that do things well to do those things well. And, hey, we're going to make sure you get deep very well and on a consistent basis.
Well, let's just keep rolling straight through the Broncos draft class. Thankfully, there's only a few picks here, so we can hit them all pretty easily. The next guy they took was Drew Sanders, super interesting guy. And I loved that Sean Payton came out and said after they picked him that they view him as an inside guy who can move outside. Curious what you think of Drew Sanders.
And also brings pass rushing capability as well.
Yeah.
So that tells you he's going to be a very good blitzer. That tells you he's versatile where it depends on the team you're playing, what position he'll play. Some weeks he'll be inside. Some weeks he's probably going to be primarily an edge guy. But you have to have someone that's capable of doing that. You have to have your version of Micah Parsons, right? And so when you have that in Drew Sanders, I think that was a very good pick for them in where they selected him.
And then we'll just go to Riley Moss. Speaking of another guy with position versatility, the Broncos right after drafting him said he will play cornerback instead of safety. Do you think that's the right spot for Riley?
Absolutely. The only reason why they're talking about safety is because he's a white corner. That's it.
Right.
There's nothing he did out there on the field that says, yeah, he got to play safety. Plus, anytime you end up with the football in your hands and you don't play offense, I kind of want you on my team, and I kind of want you to be where you end up with the football in your hands a lot.
Right.
And he does a great job in baiting quarterbacks because just like he baits receivers go out there, it locks up with the quarterback. They see a white corner. They're like, oh, yeah, throw it over here. And he's baiting them, and he turns the ball over, and he's going back the other way for a score. So he is excellent in what he does. He has very good technique. He can play on, he can play press. He can play off coverage really well. So he can play man or zone. Great instincts, terrific acceleration. To me, that sounds like a corner all day and 6 times on Sunday. And plus, when you're able to turn the ball over, I want you on my secondary or in my secondary.
Yeah.
Does that make you want to keep him on the boundary more instead of trying him in the slot, just knowing that that's where most of his picks came from?
Yeah, keep him where he had success. Again, it's an easy game. Like, at the end of the day, like, you want someone to do what they do well on a consistent basis. You only get 46 guys on game day. You better be at a spot where we know you can excel. And again, sometimes it may depend on the matchup, but for the most part, you want him playing either on the field side the boundary side. I know that doesn't really matter too much from a semantic standpoint in the NFL because the game is played entirely in the middle of the field. But for the most part, he can travel on either side, whether he's closer to the sideline or have a little bit more room to run because he's such a great athlete.
All right, last one we got to hit.
Yeah.
JL Skinner, safety out of Boise State. What do you think?
Someone that I think he's going to be a core special teamer. You know, he is legitimately large, like tall. You see his height on film. And, you know, the more you watch Boise State, you just feel like he just get taller as the game go on. You know, it's like it just keep getting bigger. You know, so he kind of stands out, but he covers a lot of ground with that length and that height and that range. But you imagine that type of ability in a short area zone, and he's taken away a lot of passing windows. You know, he's able to float through those things rather well. He plays the alley rather well, so he's a good run defender. So he's someone that can be a sub-package player, again, depending on the matchup. But as a core special teamer, I think that's where he starts from day one.
Emory, my last question for you. It seems like you'd be pretty high on this Broncos class. Am I reading that right? Although it was only 5 picks, didn't have one until the very end of the second round after trading back in. Would you say the Broncos did pretty well?
Yeah, and the reason why is because it's the players they picked, the players they brought in as undrafted free agents, combined with the coach. I know Sean Payton will give the best guy a chance to make the team and play. That's how you get a Marquez Callaway playing for the Saints as an undrafted free agent. Why? Because he was one of the best receivers on the team. He gets out there. You saw him do a great job with all kinds of undrafted rookie free agents and lower round draft picks playing. So when you combine the draft class with the undrafted rookie free agents, I'm looking at the list, there's a ton of talent there. So I know at the end of the day, if a Jaleel McLaughlin balls out with his speed and explosiveness out of Youngstown State, that's someone that Sean Payton will keep on a team. You look at what he brought in Darius Gaines out of Western Colorado. It's fascinating about him, someone that played corner safety primarily in college, and now was playing corner at the NFLPA game, and was kind of having a rough go at it, but he had never played outside in his college career. And so by the end of the week, you start to understand, okay, he has gotten a little bit better in coverage, but now you have someone that can play both corner and safety, has very good ball skills. And we know Western Colorado, they're batting 1 for 1 right now with NFL prospects with homeboy out there playing running back. But you like that Sean Payton will give these guys a chance. I thought they had a really good undrafted rookie free agent class as I'm looking at the list here. So, again, I like the class that they drafted, the undrafted free agents they brought in, and the coach that's now coaching them, because those guys will get an opportunity and the best man will play.
Amazing stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty clear that if you want the best in-depth draft coverage, you go to our guy, Emory Hunt. So, Emory, thank you so much for joining us. And, of course, go to footballgameplan.com/2023 draft guide, where literally the best report. I mean, Emory's just bringing up undrafted free agents. That just shows how deep he goes.
I don't understand even how it's possible to like remember 1,000 guys' names and then know who each of them are. It's incredible stuff.
I appreciate
Thanks so much
you guys.
for joining us,
a lot
Emory.
of work, a lot of travel miles, man. Thank you.
Right on. Thanks so much for coming on with us,
Thanks, Emory.
Thanks.
Man, just incredible. Incredible.
My mind is
in-depth
actually
knowledge
blown.
there. And there we go. There's a running back prospect that he just threw out for us. For the Broncos, of course, not drafting one. Speedy guy.
Yeah.
Just to be able to pull out facts and stats about a guy out of Western Colorado is truly shocking.
And positional, how he changed at one of his 8
8 All-Star games.
All-Star games. I didn't even know there were 8.
I did not either.
Yeah. I mean,
Can you name them?
No shot.
Senior Bowl,
Yep.
the Shrine Game,
Oh, I could have got those two.
Yep.
and then let's see, from there you go the Hula Bowl.
Okay.
Is that what that's called?
He's going to make up 6 ones
Yeah.
right now.
I think it's called the Hula Bowl. That's where like Carson Wells and them went.
Okay.
There's
NFLPA game.
NFLPA game.
Good.
We're halfway. There's the one that's just the Polynesian players. Is that the same one?
HBCU one as well.
HBCU.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
That's 5.
Polynesian Bowl, yeah.
Polynesian Bowl.
6.
But then
7, 8.
crazy you'd separate them from Hawaii, but I
Well,
guess maybe there's enough talent at both. I guess the Hawaiian isn't just all Polynesians though.
No, it's just it's just a
Exactly.
different
It's
place
just
to
another
do one.
Yes, it is. So that makes
Better
that
trip.
2 more.
I don't think there's like an Under Armour or like a Nike thing.
That is a smart place to go. Where would sponsor money
brands.
be?
They're like the Army All-American game is a high school thing.
Yeah.
Right. Does anyone know that's tuning in?
Wow.
No idea.
I don't think we can do it.
Wow.
I think we failed.
I'm not disappointed in us. East-West Shrine. No, that's the Shrine game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well.
Well, there's 2 more. Oh,
Sad.
well.
Sad.
We will probably never know.
No.
I don't even know if that's something you can Google.
Yeah.
I know.
We could have just asked Emory.
Yeah. Wait, should have him back on? But shout out to our guy, Emory. And shout out to Shady Rays, where the best sunglasses out there. If you're going to be going to 8 different All-Star games, you're going to want sunglasses for all of that sun, especially you're going to a lot in the South where it's warm. At that time, the Hawaii.
Like Jackson, Mississippi.
It's very true. So check out our friends over at Shady Rays, where they not only have great sunglasses, but they've got a great deal going on where if you use the code DNVR, you're going to get 50% off when you buy 2 pairs of glasses. They're polarized. They have 5-star reviews by over 250,000 people. It's just a few less people than Emory Hunt grades
Scouting.
every single year. So check them out. Really the best. Even if you're not traveling, you need sunglasses and you need Shady Rays. They have so many styles too. So they're going to have something for you. So check them out, Shady Rays, and use that promo code DNVR for 50% off 2 pairs of polarized sunglasses.
And Foco, if you need bobbleheads or... that's a bobblehead, right? His head bobbles. Miles over there.
Test it.
Oh, that's like a...
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. That is, I mean, it's pushing being a bobblehead.
Yeah.
Like it's more of like a statue figurine.
It's even more impressive.
If the
Yeah.
head bobbles, though, I guess it's a bobblehead.
Yeah, it's true.
But if you need any of that stuff, including that exact bobblehead, you can go to Foco and you can actually get 10% off if you use the code DNVR. They've got so many different things like...
You know what I was thinking when we were talking about train tracks? It would be really cool to have a sick bobblehead collection if you lived by train tracks.
Oh,
they don't bobble.
and then it
They would
shakes
all
and
bobble
then-
when the train goes by.
I was thinking you were going to say we need like one of those little trains that just like goes
that
around.
would
with
be
bobbleheads.
sick.
Yeah, you could put bobblehead in it. Sure.
Bobbleheads inside.
Wouldn't that be awesome? You could do like a little Broncos car and like a
Yeah.
little Nuggets car.
You're like in the middle of a great like angry rant, and it's just like choo choo. It goes by.
Helps
Yeah.
break the tension.
Yeah, that'd be kind of fun. You could have that thing like go all over the place.
Dang.
There isn't like, I don't know. It'd have to go off screen a little bit to
Or it
get
just
like a
goes.
turn in,
It
I guess.
goes
Yeah.
over our microphones too, like literally in the middle of the set.
Oh,
Probably a
that
bit much.
sounds
Bit
unrealistic.
invasive.
There was a restaurant that I haven't thought about since I was like 6. They just had like a little train that was going around on the walls all around the
Wow.
place. I love that.
I
Damn.
bet you
We
did.
gotta
It
get a
sounds like
train.
perfect
It does
for a
yeah.
6-year-old.
I mean, and still.
That reminded me of a place called Around the Corner, which was a burger restaurant where you went
Little
and
squares.
they all had a phone at the booth and you called in your
Oh my
order.
god,
Oh,
that's
wow.
awesome.
And I loved it.
Man, that was actually very futuristic to now what we have now, just like, iPads at the table where you
Yeah.
order.
Yeah. Or if you're like me, you just order all your food from your couch.
It's true. Then it's
That
just
is
brought
way
to
too
you.
easy. Ugh. Yeah, I'm like 3 blocks from McDonald's, but sometimes somebody needs to bring it to me.
I'm even closer to that McDonald's, although I don't eat McDonald's.
Yeah, I love McDonald's. This isn't a McDonald's
Happy
app.
Meal?
This
is
is
that what you
Foco.
still go for?
No, the deals.
Okay.
You get the McDonald's app. The stuff in there's crazy.
Stop.
Sorry.
Use code
gotta pay
DNVR
for
over
that.
at McDonald's.
Oh, I mean, you can get yourself a nice lunch for like $3.
I'm not sure about nice.
Henry's definition
Oh.
of a nice lunch is among the lowest in the world.
That's a good lunch. But yeah, Foco, I mean, if you need any of this stuff, I don't know if they have any Broncos trains. If they did, we would probably have it on the set. But they've got polos and bags and hats and different kinds of straw hats and all that stuff. So use the code DNVR for 10% off at foco.com.
Jose wants to know if we mentioned the Senior Bowl.
Yeah, we did get that
yeah,
one.
that's,
Also, I did pull up the 25 college football all-star games.
What?
But it's kind of fun because you have to figure out which of these two are the big two out of like all these crazy, like the Blue-Gray Football Classic,
Oh,
Is
that
a
one of the
classic.
big ones?
That is
That
a
is a
classic.
classic.
the
yeah.
Dixie Gridiron Classic.
Another classic.
So
Probably
ones
those,
that
just end there.
just looking at these and guessing, I'd say we were missing the FCS Bowl. Sounds like one that they could use. You know,
Tropical Bowl.
Tropical Bowl. I mean, a lot of these seem tropical. And I forgot the other. It's not Texas versus the Nation.
Texas versus the Nation.
Oh, the Las Vegas All-American Classic.
Oh, that's
Or
classic.
the Coaches All-America Game, College All-Star Bowl, College Gridiron Showcase. We got that one.
Damn.
Oh, no, College Gridiron Showcase. That was the one I could swear I've heard before.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. You know what's crazy? I was just thinking about this with Emory. When like the Browns sign a corner in the middle of the season off the street, he like knows who that is and what
right.
they do.
Yeah.
That blows my mind.
Yeah.
That is insane. He just knows he doesn't have to go to Google.
Like the Broncos will like sign a guy from like Colorado State that I've never heard of.
Or CU that you've never heard of.
Not that one.
Yeah, okay.
Just about. It could happen from almost any other college.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. And he just knows.
He's just like, oh yeah, that guy like decent coverage grade, but got just swept away in the run game. It's like, what?
I
How
know.
can you know that?
It's insane to then remember it too. So wait, do you want to change your Alex Forsyth grade after talking to Emory?
No.
Yeah, I'll stick with my A.
Yep, I like my A as well. So, if I hadn't known that about Emory, what he had to say about Alex Forsyth, I'd probably be bumping it now.
Yeah.
But I knew he was going to sell me on him.
Yep.
And just consistent. And that's exactly, I mean, it's a great thing that he said about just, you want offensive linemen to be consistent. And that's what he is.
That is the number one thing that coaches trust.
Right. Especially from that position.
Especially
and
from that
on top of that, it's not like he did it for one season and you don't really know. No, he's done it for the past 3 seasons at center. And then he was also playing his 2 first years. And also, he's a guy that is older because he had a redshirt year. And then he played 5 seasons in college because of the COVID year. Gave him an extra year of eligibility. So he has all the experience you could want.
Yeah. And it's kind of crazy. I mean, so what? He's 24. Lloyd is 25 now, which also surprised me because he was 21 when they drafted him. But I guess, it's 4 years later.
Yep, that's true.
3 years later.
Also,
whatever it is.
Time flies when you're losing games.
Wow.
Another thing to sell you on Alex Forsyth, last year he had the second highest pass blocking grade from PFF of any center in the country.
Wow.
Again, how'd he fell?
It's kind of odd.
Yeah.
Kind of odd that he fell so far.
And he's 6'3", almost 6'4", 303 pounds, so it's not like there's like some physical trait that you don't love.
Yeah.
Or that
I
you
hope
don't
that
hate.
we're talking 2 years from now being like, what a bunch of idiots.
Yeah.
I hope so.
And it was a deep center class. That's what's crazy. Is like, but to get a guy who performed so well so late is just wild.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Should we jump into some questions on the website?
Let's do it.
Do we have any super chats? No super chats. Questions on the website. The Count says, Hank, you royalist, I'll be your king. I'll start my reign over you by demanding that the next time you fly through Zootown, you contact me and let me buy you a frosted barley pop, even if it's just for an hour. If you disobey, I'll make you give me all of your units, not just your normal tax that a despot would likely demand.
Crossing the line for me.
And after all, I'm already a count, so it's not that big of a jump for me. I've been waiting for the day for all of my days as a lower ruler. Sincerely, Your Highness, King of Henry.
Wow. No, first of all, there's no king of me. Second of all,
He just made it.
I haven't been to Missoula. I think you were there last time I was in Missoula.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think.
Had a great like pub style pizza.
Pub style pizza. Oh man, I'm hungry now.
Me too. I'm starving.
Yeah. I think the Baylor game, not Baylor, the Butler game, week 1. I'm going to try to
Butler
get
has
to
a
Missoula.
football team.
Yeah. They're like all right.
Did not know that.
Yeah, they're like 7-5 last year.
Wow.
I'm
Which
sure
is
there's
easy we'll
someone
win.
that Emory scouted from Butler football team.
Oh, I'm sure.
Guaranteed.
Yeah. Yep. Butler week 1, and then see what happens with the Broncos schedule. They'll have a bye week at some point.
Speaking of Broncos schedule,
the
that
hell?
may happen this Thursday. They may need more time. Weird stuff going on there.
Yeah. I won't give anything away, but like I've been working with someone who on something who like their entire life revolves around this NFL schedule release. And when I saw that come out today, I was just like, oh my God, I feel so bad for this person.
What person could have their life revolve around NFL schedule release?
Probably somebody who makes NFL schedules.
You would, or the computers. Do we think Ryan's friends with the computers that make it?
Oh, me and Watson go way back.
You and
Wow,
Watson,
you and Watson.
Dell. But in the thing, so that came from Peter King, I think. In his little excerpt about it, he said, the computers might need more time. I thought, how is this not just like an instant thing?
I don't know. Just like throw it in Chat GPT. They'll have it done by the end of the day.
It's so
Yeah.
true. So yeah, schedule release might be this week. That'll be nice to know.
That'll
Yeah.
probably go viral if someone wants to do that. Put all the teams
Yeah,
in,
you're
all
so
the
right.
combos, and say like
Yeah.
create a schedule that works for all of these situations. Chat GPT will do it.
Yeah. Man, that'd be so
There's
funny.
just so many things you have to put in. It's
I
like,
know.
oh, here's this concert
Right.
here.
Right,
Here's
like cannot put a game in Detroit on September or whatever because Kenny Chesney's playing.
yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Um,
Maybe we should. This might be a bad idea. Maybe one of these podcasts should just be we make our own schedule. That's
No.
awesome for the Broncos. No, okay, sounds good.
I mean, we could do the dream rollout for the Broncos.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
We're
there
ju-
we go.
We're gonna present it way differently than what you said, though. Henry.
Wow, apparently, yeah.
Because that was
We're gonna
awful.
take my idea and
Well, I thought you
brand it
meant
as
you
your
were gonna
idea.
make the whole schedule.
No, we're not making everybody's schedule. No,
man.
I'm not just trying to connect dots and stuff. What's the dream Broncos schedule?
I feel like there's something going on. Did you hear the thing about the Chiefs whining?
No, about
They don't want to go to Germany.
so they're
They're
trying
supposed to be Chiefs Bears in Germany, and now the Chiefs are trying to get out of it.
to.
I mean-
no, you're going to Germany.
You have to make them go, which is also
Yeah.
incredible because, like, if there's one team I want the Chiefs to play in Germany, it's the team that really, really sucks and just weird things happen over there.
Right.
Could they just like blow a game to the freaking Bears? That'd be incredible.
It would.
Don't be so down on the Bears, Henry. Don't be so down on them.
Hey, I would love for the Bears to be great. But it's just so Chiefs. Just like crying their way out of something. And they're like, we're the champs. We can't do this to
There's
us.
no way that they can get out of this, right? Or
I
do
don't
you
know.
believe that they'll give it to him?
I think they're gonna let him out of it.
No way.
Maybe the Broncos then can replace it and we get to go to Germany.
That would
That's
be
the
dope.
only positive spin.
That would,
That is
but
true.
wait, if the defending champs don't want to go there, you probably shouldn't be like pawing to go,
Yeah.
right? Like maybe there's a
I mean,
reason they don't want to
they're
go.
in a different position. Like they're like, we just want a Super Bowl. Don't get rid of like a home. Like we don't need to be your traveling road show. Like the Germans don't need to see the Super Bowl winners. That's what they're thinking. They just
That's
want to stick
exactly
around.
who they should
Disrespectful
be
to Germany.
sending.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah,
Damn, if they let him out of that,
I know.
there's no way. Because then I might start believing in some of the things
Let's
that
go.
you say.
Let's go.
You say.
Now I'm kind of ready for it.
Germany would be awesome. I was actually, I watched a lot of stuff this weekend, but a lot of it was also about.
Henry.
What? No, I don't understand even what's so bad. But like all the bunkers that they had in World War II in Germany.
This
Pretty
is the thing
crazy.
you watched this weekend.
Yeah.
I watched like 4 playoff games
Yeah.
across
Well, yeah,
different
me
sports
too.
Yeah.
and Ted Lasso.
Yeah. And then what'd you do after 10 o'clock?
Let's see. What did I do after 10 o'clock? Played some played some Madden.
Oh, okay.
I'm so bad
Watched
at
Ted
Madden.
Lasso.
I'm so bad.
I just don't understand being bad at Madden.
I guess I don't understand being good at Madden. So
History Channel Vault. That's what you want, though.
Yeah,
History Channel Vault.
Yeah, it's like $4 a month. It's incredible.
Zach lost to the team that was previously thought to be the worst team.
That was he was yeah.
Wait,
right
was it
before,
Cam?
Yeah. Right before we played, he was getting roasted in the chat for like being.
Anyways,
Yeah, I'm about to go. He's in my division.
What was the score?
I play him right after my bye.
He took off at the end. It was yeah. One of my goals was to get a 17-point win, and I never do that one. But this time I was like, yeah, I'm gonna set that as a goal, and I probably flipped the other way.
I've been hitting that one. I just feel like it fires my team up.
When you hit it,
Yeah,
or to know that
Like
that's the goal.
I'm just like,
going in.
boys, we're not coming here to win. We're coming here to dominate.
With Madden being such a garbage game, Like my last game against the Browns. No, it wasn't the Browns. Oh, it was against
Bengals.
Mile High Mike. It's our guy.
Oh,
It was the one before. Yeah, it's the Vikings. I have this scenario where it says like if you don't turn the ball, or if you turn the ball over one time or less and win, all of your offense gets plus 10 morale.
Wow.
I did it.
And it didn't hit.
No, it gave the morale to the other team.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he got every offensive. Like we were talking after. He's just like going through. He's like, "Wow, I didn't hit my goal, but I got this plus 10 morale." So I was like, "No."
Maybe
Yeah.
that's why I'm bad at Madden, is because of just Madden
Maybe
itself.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's what I
Oh.
tell myself anytime something goes wrong for me.
So disappointing.
I tell that myself every day then.
One
Broncos
time,
Jets week 1.
I actually told this to my
Oh,
opponent
no,
this
it
last
can't be.
weekend, but Mitch Smith, Big Drive Mitch,
Yes.
great golfer. And he told me like he never allows himself to believe when he hit a bad shot it was his fault, because it's just like a mental thing.
Yeah,
You're just
yeah.
like, oh, like the wind blew, or like I heard a dog bark in the distance. Like I did everything right. That's what I take into my Madden approach.
But then couldn't that hurt you because you'll never get better
Well,
from learning?
I mean, how
He's
much
already
room
really
do I
good,
really
yeah.
have?
Oh, of course I should have known.
no.
I do have
I was
room.
talking about Mitch.
Well, no. Then like it's only when you're in the moment that you have to think that way. Then when the round ends, you're like, okay, I
Take a
did
step
have an
back.
issue with my approach shots.
Okay.
But like while you're in the moment, you can't be like, oh no, what am I doing wrong? Because then you'll start thinking too much.
That is such an athlete and competitive way to think. Like Michael Jordan would just make things up that his opponent said about him
Yes.
in order to just get fired up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Little psychotic, but
mental
Oh, yeah.
strength is really
yeah,
what it comes down to.
yeah, mental twistability.
In its
too.
own way.
Toughness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we got one more question on the website. Let's hit it from Nash. Bronco says, this may have already happened on today's pod, but can you guys lay out the important date/schedule for OTAs this year? Thanks. So later this week, rookie minicamp, which means the rookies will be in the building together for the first time. We'll see if I would think that they'd actually do football things on the field, since that's Sean Payton's way. That's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Then the rookies can join the team starting next week for continuing the lifts and workouts. The Broncos are doing things very differently. You've probably seen 31 other teams post to their social media about how they're throwing the football, doing these things. Broncos aren't just not posting that, they're also not doing that right now. They're just lifting weights, but in 3 weeks from today, no, maybe only 2 weeks from today, the Broncos start OTAs, and OTAs is actually football practice. And they do that for 4 weeks, ending with their mandatory mini camp at the end of that in June. And we supposedly will get to be there for some of the OTAs. So that's when we'll start giving you more breakdowns of what's actually happening, if Sean's nice enough to allow us.
He wakes up on the right side of the bed.
Yes. If the NFL makes them.
It's true. If the NFL makes them,
Or
we
if
might
they'll just accept a fine.
we might also get a little access this weekend with rookie minicamp, but maybe not.
Speaking of waking up on the right side of the bed, I just have to plug this really quick. My guy Andrew, big listener of the show,
Hell yeah.
hooked me up, and his company is called Sleep Nerds.
Okay.
Hooked me up with the greatest mattress of all time.
Oh, love Andrew. Of course. Yeah.
Big homie brought me a mattress with an adjustable base. My life will never be the same.
I've only heard the words adjustable base.
Yeah, I mean, like you've seen it, right? The bed that like you can press a button and then
It
you
does
can
that.
sit up.
Dang.
So now I'm like, I think I need a big screen
Yeah,
in my room
yeah,
because
yeah.
I don't really ever want to leave this bed. Because if I want to watch TV, I just go sit up. Then you can even like lift the legs a little bit, so you got a little footrest.
Yeah.
It is. I'm living like in a world that I didn't know existed,
Damn.
and way above my pay grade.
You're
Honestly.
laying in a world that you didn't know existed.
Yep. Also upgraded from queen to king.
Dang.
I feel like I could go for like a swim in my bed.
Honestly, I have a king as well. Maybe too much room?
No, I mean,
get lost in it, man.
if you think about it, for me, I take up twice as much space on the bed. So it's perfect amount of room for
I
me.
never touch my partner anymore in bed. It's so sad. Well, like, just in the night.
Oh my god! Oh
That was weird.
I was meaning it in the space way.
shit! Yeah, you do have to like barrel roll
Yeah, you
over
roll
there.
over it. Plenty of room for the cats, though. Plenty of room for all of us.
Plenty of room for all the kids.
Yeah.
You could have like 17 cats.
You could. You could.
Yeah. So shout out to Andrew, big homie.
Yeah.
I'll never be able to go back from this.
No.
Yeah.
You probably never need to like buy anything new.
It's true.
You got the king and the adjustable base. What is there?
I mean, every like 5 years or so, you want a new mattress. I've heard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
the adjustable base, as long
Yeah, I
as it's
don't-
like, the motors in
Yeah,
there are still
yeah,
kicking, like
yeah.
just put a new mattress
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. All right.
Was the partner listening?
Not even married yet. Sad state of affairs. All right. That's going to wrap it up
Wait,
for
do we
us.
have any comments? Did we do the comments?
We did
We
the
did.
comments.
Yeah, we got the comments.
Oh, yeah, that's right. With the whole King and Henry thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember.
All right. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you tomorrow on DNVR Broncos Podcast.